Over 80 people gathered at Alexandria Technical and Community College Thursday for an exercise known as a poverty simulator.
Most of the people in this situation aren't faced with what we would say is federal poverty level income. So they are challenged day to day. It's difficult for them to make ends meet. They do have unforeseen circumstances that they can't plan for. So their car may break down and they may lose work for a week of work. So that would be a circumstance they'd be faced with. There might be other things that they encounter in their life, such as they run out of transportation money to be able to get to work, and now they've got to figure out how will they access groceries and how will they get to the places they need to go. So it's very realistic in that sense.
Each participant was given a name and a family and plenty of circumstances to navigate through.
So it's up to everybody in the family to kind of discuss and play their role in order to make ends meet towards the end of the month, and it's pretty stressful.
I just had to choose between paying my utilities or my rent. I couldn't pay all my rent because I was $40 short because of a late fee, and my boyfriend is stuck in the line to get to work. I also have to get to work in the next 5 minutes too. This is really, really stressful.
Well, right now I'm gonna see if I could afford to buy a home, and if not, I'll just stay at the homeless shelter for a bit until I can afford one.
Each set of chairs represents a family. In a lone chair at one end is Bill Flaig. In real life, he's a retired, successful hospital administrator. But today, he's a single 85-year-old woman living alone on the brink of disaster.
Yeah, they've got the different agencies here. It's very realistic, and you got to put yourself in the shoes of this individual or family, whichever the situation is how in real life you would get through each week. So it's a very realistic exercise.
Part of the simulation is getting to the various agencies, the store, daycare center, the pawn shop, and even some were brought to jail or juvie.
Some are underage, and so in the simulation, if a child is left at home alone, it's up to the discretion of the police officer whether or not that needs to be questioned. And so we ask the family unit to have some conversation around how old or how young is too young to leave a child at home alone. One was reported for illegal activity, so they're in there for questioning.
The school-age kids attend school during the day. Others line up trying to get a job. Sister Rita says the simulation mimics real life as best it can.
In my ministry and my work, this is very realistic. The frustration of going from department to department and they're closed or you can't get in, and you are worried about what's going on back at the house, and it's high stress. And you work with people and you go to those homes, and I work particularly with immigrants, and that's 1,000 times worse than this.
The characters being portrayed by the participants meet federal poverty income levels. It's safe to say that West Central Minnesota experiences its share of families facing these situations, and if the goal is empathy and awareness, the United Way did that and more.
Oh man, it just seems like you take one step forward and then 5 steps back. Oh man, this is an eye-opener.
Pretty chaotic, honestly. Where this, I know once it's all over, I just get to go back to my life, but for other people that's not the case. This is their situation every month. And if that's the case, that's like living in constant fear.
You know, we're really glad to see that the participation is so high, because what that says to us is what we already know, that we live in a community that cares a great deal for each other. We have over 80 participants here today. We've maxed out our simulation, and that's because we believe that those people care so much about how they can be a part of making a difference so that we can reduce poverty in any community, and specifically ours.
For the Voice of Alexandria, I'm Joe Krakowski.